Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great day. I hope you are inspired. I hope God is blessing you this morning. Okay. Today, I want to talk about one of the most controversial conversations that's been happening for the last year. And I need you guys to understand that this is not just another R. Kelly story. This is about the young woman, the young girl who eventually will grow up to be a woman who lost everything, who had everything to lose, and she still spoke up anyway. This is about sorry, the entertainer and singer Sparkle and her niece, and the testimony that cost her niece and her family everything, but it also helped bring down one of music's most protected predators in the name of R. Kelly. Now, before we keep going, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button because we're going to be deep diving into one of the most important stories in the R. Kelly saga that doesn't actually get talked about enough. Now, before we go to the video, because there is an interview that we have to react to, we have to talk about who is Sparkle and who is her niece. Now, let me take you back to the late 1990s. Sparkle, born Stephanie Edwards, was on her way up in the R&B world. Her single called "Be Careful" was a hit. It was a hit. It had R. Kelly on there. He was signed to at the time Rockland Records, and it was just a major hit. R. Kelly ended up producing her debut album, and she was a part of his inner circle for many years and would go on to become part of the machine that helped build R. Kelly, pretty much his musical empire. Now, the important context here that we had to talk about is when everything happened, who introduced R. Kelly to the young lady, and what did Sparkle have to lose if she spoke up? She wasn't just an outsider looking in. She was literally signed to this man label. Her career was tied directly to the actions that she was going to take in the name of her niece, right? And then obviously we have the early 2000s where that tape dropped. R. Kelly is pissing on a little girl. Y'all know, listen, I hate to even say it like that, but R. Kelly is pissing on a little girl, right? Now, the little girl has grown up and we have a full interview. Okay? Okay? Shout out to Linda Gamble. Let me go over to Linda. I'm gonna go over on Gently Koi K and give you a wrench right now. Right now. Now listen, again, in the early 2000s, this tape dropped with R. Kelly and a minor. It showed a minor being pretty much pissed on, right? And this became the spark of a lot of jokes. I remember watching the Boondocks even recently with my wife, and we watched the R. Kelly trial episode, and Huey was like, "Hey, y'all cool? Y'all believe that girl? I see piss coming, I get out the way. She see piss coming, she stayed." So this became a big conversation for people to make jokes about. And this was this young woman's life. All right. Now, I'm only staying here for two videos. The full interview where she break down everything that happened with her and Mr. R. Kelly. And then I'm going to stay for her auntie Sparkle, who did an interview with the Breakfast Club about 7 years ago when Surviving La Peef came out. All right. Now I had the thumbnail up so you guys can see who she is, and so I can spark this blizzy. And let's go ahead and break this video down, y'all. If you guys want to see, um, if you guys want to see like the actual video, because I'm not sure if I can show the video, put a one in the chat. And if you guys want to support the channel, we are monetized on the Daryl Long side of things. So if you guys are on a different channel, like my wife's channel, come over to the Daryl Long side. We are monetized. We have memberships. They say if you mention memberships at the beginning of your streams, you're more than likely to get a membership or get a super chat. But if you guys don't want to support via super chat, hit the like button, hype me up, send a cash app to $DLon316. Let's get directly into the video where the young lady breaks down everything that happened with Jerica Duncan, who is one of my favorite reporters. Not only is she extremely beautiful, I'm talking about Lord have mercy. This woman is drop dead gorgeous. Not only is she extremely beautiful, but she also she interviews very, 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 very well. And I just genuinely appreciate that. You feel me? Genuinely. She didn't badger this young lady. None of that, bro. She did a very good job on this interview. Very proud that these are two black women sitting down talking about how to protect themselves from predators. All right, let's go.
Doing well. I'm doing well. Feel present.
Mhm. When I think about the amount of time that has passed based on how long you knew R. Kelly, I think so many people have wanted to hear from you for so long. How does it feel to not be Jane Doe anymore?
So I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't want to hear from Shorty. I didn't want to hear from Shorty because she was a kid the whole time. When I heard about this story, I was a kid. I didn't want to hear about a young lady telling me about why she was in love with R. Kelly and why she chose to get urinated on. I did not want to hear that story. God protect me, protect my spirit, protect my family spirit. That's not a story that we needed to hear, especially coming from a minor. Absolutely not. The only thing I need to hear is therapy. Therapy. How she's going to seek therapy, who's going to pay for the therapy, and how she's um um whatever she's doing to make her life better, her to make her mind better, to not be so naive and so susceptible to scammers and to predators. We don't want that. So me, I've never wanted to hear this interview, me personally, but we're here now. Good morning, Fear.
It feels very rewarding. It feels very liberating, um, which was a part of the reason why I wanted to write this book because I really wanted to live in my true skin, in my true self.
And your true self today is what?
My true self today is Rashona Landfair, not Jane Doe, not Sean. It's who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, a friend, a daughter, a colleague, etc.
You dedicate this book.
I'm happy that this woman is finally had the opportunity to come out, speak her mind, write a book about it, and genuinely talk about everything that happened. Now, again, in the early 2000s, a tape began circulating, and I'm going to be very clear about this. Tape allegedly showed. This tape allegedly showed Robert Kelly, aka R. Kelly, engaging in sexual acts with a minor. This wasn't adult content. This was child abuse captured on camera. And the girl in the video is the young woman who we just saw speaking. Okay. That was the young woman. She is now a mother and a wife. A mother and a wife. Just want to throw that out there for some people. If you know who you are. The girl in the video was Sparkle's niece. And at the time of recording, she was approximately 14 years old. Now, let's be very clear. This tape became the centerpiece of R. Kelly's 2008 child pornography trial that took place in Illinois, which is where I am now. But here's how the system failed. Both R. Kelly and the alleged victim denied that it was him, that was them in the video. They denied that. I mean, we can visibly see R. Kelly's face. We can visibly see the young lady's face, and they both denied. The victim, who is now speaking publicly, refused to testify. And in 2008, R. Kelly was acquitted. He walked away. Think about that. Video evidence, and he still walk away. That's the kind of power and protection that R. Kelly has had for years. Now, let's go back to the video.
To your dad, your son, and you say your inner self.
Hmm.
Who else would you say this book is for?
This book is for every person who has gone through some sort of trauma or some sort of uncomfortable moment in their life where they blamed themselves, were ashamed or embarrassed to live in their true skin and just really took the faults of other people and, kind of hid behind that. So it was just really freeing for me, and I wanted to share my experience with people who have been in similar situations.
You obviously talk in this book about how it's
Before she keep going with that, I'm just pausing it just so we can maintain the fair use guidelines. Let me also say this, guys. I think it's I think it's absolutely crazy that women were around and this woman, this young lady will have to deal with R. Kelly by herself, being in a room by herself. Um, her father was in her life. Her father had meetings with R. Kelly. It just almost seems like she had absolutely no protection. The only person that refused to stay quiet was her auntie Sparkle. Now, Auntie Sparkle took the stand and testified against R. Kelly, and let me tell you what she said. She confirmed that the girl in the video was her niece. She identified R. Kelly as the man in the tape. She explained how R. Kelly had access to her niece through her family, right? Through her family connection. Because remember, Sparkle was signed to R. Kelly and she was inside of R. Kelly's inner circle. Sparkle also detailed the inappropriate relationships that she witnessed firsthand. Now, for those who don't understand this, listen, I just want you to understand that Sparkle was going up against one of the most powerful men in the music industry at that point in time. And R. Kelly wasn't just an regular artist. He was a hit maker, he was a producer, and he owned his own label to which Sparkle was signed to. He had connections all over the industry. He had money, he had access to powerful lawyers. He had this entire machine that was designed to protect him and defend him. And essentially, Sparkle just had herself. She didn't have nobody else. And that's exactly what happened for the most part. Her testimony led to her being blackballed and ostracized out of the music industry because just like on YouTube, people don't like when you tell the truth about somebody. They don't like when you tell the truth about Team Portugal or Anton Daniels or these manosphere degenerates, right? Eventually, going against R. Kelly meant going against the entire industry. So she had to sacrifice herself in a matter of words to protect her niece. And to me, she should have had more support. Fear says, my mama and aunts watched it, but wouldn't let me anywhere near the room. Yeah, because who want to see that shit? Even when I like, you know what? I don't even want to talk about that video. That video was diabolical. Let's keep going.
started. You don't start at the moment people start talking about you or knowing anything about who you are and who you're associated with. But you describe at length how it started. You mention your aunt, the artist Sparkle, who used to work with R. Kelly. I want to read some of it from, I think it was page 18. You say in the book, the next time we're at the studio, this is what you say, Sparkle said. You say your aunt told you the next time we're at the studio, you should ask Robert to be your godfather. Aunt Sparkle explained that I should sit on his lap and rub his head while I asked him to be my godfather.
Mm, mm.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Now, I've watched multiple videos of Unsparkle. I've watched multiple videos of Unsparkle, and she never brought up the fact that she told her niece to sit on R. Kelly's lap. So is Sparkle lying or is the niece lying?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Who is lying? I need somebody to talk to. Fear, are you available? Fear, are you available? You don't got to come on camera. They can just look at me. But I want to have a genuine conversation about who is lying here, who is doing what for clout, for money, et cetera, et cetera. Because I've watched and I got the whole Breakfast Club interview pulled up. Sparkle make it clear she ain't never told R. Kelly to put his hands on her niece. She ain't never told R. Kelly and her niece to hang out together and sit on that man lap asking to be somebody god daddy. Sparkle is making sure that the audience, us, knows that that's not true. And I'm gonna play the interview. You see, I got a medicine ball today. It says stay warm. That's so nice. Starbucks girl, so nice. Let's keep going with the video. Let's start with the young lady video, hear her truth, and then go into her auntie so her auntie can defend herself. Jesus Christ.
This instruction seemed sort of weird since I hadn't sat on his lap before, but I didn't question it. When you think back, is that where it
As a 15-year-old girl, your auntie tell you to sit on a grown ass man lap and you don't question it. You don't you don't question it at all. Like I have a 17-year-old in my house right now. She's in high school. If I told, hey, go sit on that man lap, go sit on Mr. Who's a hot? Oh, here go Mr. Chris Brown. Go sit on his lap. Yeah. And tell him you want to be his goddaughter. See if we can get this record deal. She gonna be like, no, I'm not doing that. And now I feel weird having you around me. Like, I don't think that my 15-year-old or 17-year-old would be okay with that. Maybe my baby Leia, because she's only 5. If I say, hey Leia, go sit on Uncle RK lap, she'd probably be cool with it. She a baby. At 15, 20, 17, I think that these younger girls have a little bit more discernment. And they were so wowed by the fact that he was a big superstar, somebody on TV, a whole bunch of money. The auntie and your mama wild too. Oh my God, girl, we get to be around R. Kelly today. You get to take pictures with R. Kelly today. Girl. Do y'all remember the episode of the Boondocks about the R. Kelly trial? If y'all want, if you a member, if you are a member, well, not look, fuck it. Period. Join the Discord. I will review it in Discord. And if you are a member, maybe I'll do like a members only reviewing. I'll send a link, and this is how I usually do it, guys. I do a private screening in StreamYard where I allow 15 to 20 people in the back. We watch a movie, and I post the link in the members only post. So the main audience won't see it. If you are a member, you will see the StreamYard link. You can then click that link. I will let you up on the panel. You can watch the episode with us. All right. Moving forward, I'm telling you right now, we will be doing movie shows every Thursday. Every Thursday, something else comes. So not sorry. Every Sunday night, something new comes out. Game of Thrones, something. On those Thursdays, oh my God, something happened on Thursday that obviously the universe want me to know about. On Sunday night, we will be having movie night on the memberships. Make sure you keep it clear. Starting this Sunday. This Sunday on the memberships, it will not be streamed. We just will be watching it in the back. I'm going to be watching Game of Thrones new show, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is about Sir Duncan the Tall. All right. But anyway, let's go back to the video. Sorry I changed topics. I just want you guys to become members, subscribe to the channel. All right. As we continue this build, let's go.
all begins? Is that the start?
That is the start. That is the start of him entering into my life in a different way than just being an artist or hanging out at the studio. It became more personable at that moment.
Because you yourself were an artist. You were a part of a rap group. You had toured Europe. You'd been to Europe.
Mhm.
And it was your aunt, you said, that introduce the family to R. Kelly because he's this successful artist from Chicago. At this time, he's really starting to blow up. He left the group that he was in,
Mm-hmm.
and it was interesting, exhilarating, fun to be around him. Is kind of how you describe it in the beginning. I mean, this is a big superstar, and you have
Yes.
access to him. Like, hey, I want to hang out in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And at the
And that's where you messed up, young lady. That's where you messed up. There is no reason why a young woman should be hanging around R. Kelly and grown ass men and grown ass men. That's it's no reason at all. What's going on, Lord ADS? You want a daily rundown? Let me come over there and give you a wrench. You know we monetize on the Dura Long channel. You know we monetize on the Dura Long channel. So hey, if you want to come over there and rock with us, I see you on over there. I'm gonna give you a wrench, my brother. And if you want to come up and holler at me for a minute, I'll go ahead and drop the link. Ooh. I got something called a branded link. Okay, let's just try it out. So I dropped the link. You guys want to come up and have a conversation about this whole situation involving the young lady who was in the R. Kelly "Piss on You" video, right? She is now speaking. She has a book out. I actually plan to buy that book. What's up, Dub? What's up, Dub? Buy me a cup of coffee this morning, Dub. Send me a $5 super chat, man. You know why? Do I gotta tell you why?
For clout. That is the solution to this. The solution, Ed, is for you to send a goddamn 99-cent super sticker. So this way I don't have to go to Brokeback Mountain.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
What's going on, Lord ADS? Good morning, sir.
What up there, long time no see. What you been up to?
Man, I've been grinding, bro. We did 100,000 views this month. You feel me? We monetized. We got memberships. God has been good, man. You know, my wife pregnant.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Proud Papa. There we go.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Making a good amount of money. I got a new opportunity that's presenting themselves to me that I'm going to really go over in the membership. I'm going to be showing people how to set up different camera angles and have good quality 4K cameras. You feel me? There's a lot of stuff going on, man. You know, God has been real good. How about yourself, sir?
Me, brother, you know, I've been doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Some of it been getting through, but a lot of it been good too, right? You know what I'm saying? I had some, you know what I'm saying, some good ups. You know, I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Especially the last few months. You know what I'm saying? Things on the up and up, and I can appreciate that. Thank you, Lord. But it's also good to see my friends doing well. You know what I'm saying? That feel
Hey,
good
man.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. YouTube let me back, so you know, I'm monetized on here. The daily rundown will be monetized March 16th is the day that I believe is going to be fully monetized. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good opportunity for us to genuinely have good conversations. And I'm going to keep doing these morning live reactions. And then I'm going to have a night show as well. I'm going to try to do both shows, a morning show and a night show on a daily basis, just to continue to grow in the algorithm.
Now, Daryl, don't be too hard on yourself. Now, remember, you do work full-time job too, so make sure you got the energy. That's a lot of work in one day, brother. Morning show work and then the night show after work. Daryl, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know you got it in you, but you know what I'm saying? Be careful because, you know, people fall over. You know what I'm saying?
You see, I got gray hair now.
Yeah, I see that. And it's getting grayer. And it's only going to get grayer than that. Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 years, I'm gonna be full gray unless I go and bleach my head or some shit and get it back dark or something. But I don't know, man. I really find myself enjoying the opportunity that keep presenting themselves in front of me, and like in this situation, to the topic, we have this young lady who, you probably remember the story when it happened back in the day. R. Kelly had a video go viral of him and a young lady. She was She was reportedly to be 14 years old at the time of the recording, where he pissed on her, et cetera, et cetera, and it went viral, bro. Even Dave Chappelle did a skit about it. Roll around, sitting on dubs, sitting on some, sitting high my Escalade. Have you ever seen that skit?
Of course, brother. You know, and that's some sick shit. You know what I'm saying? And whoever watched it sick too. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that out loud. You know what I'm saying? That right there, Kelly was extraordinarily talented as an artist. I mean, extraordinarily talented. I mean, what he got like 10, 15 Grammys? He got a lot of Grammys, right? You know,
Correct.
back in the day. But you know, just this kind of, you know, saying sort of how do you say it? You know, kind of perverse behavior, right? Very perverse behavior from Kelly is what actually indicated his downfall. Not only that, I think what really got him that he was emboldened by it, right? You know what I'm saying? He just got
Unfortunately,
more emboldened by it. And if I mean, she to me, she probably should have been done this book deal, this money deal, get her stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, she's the one who actually deserves to tell her story. You know, everybody else has been talking about it, but she deserves to tell it.
speaking of, let's go and listen to it. Let's hear what she had to say. And she has a new book out. I'll post a link to that in the chat.
Time in the beginning, he's treating you like a normal, excited kid that wants to learn more about the business.
Correct.
So when do things turn? And I know you go into great detail, the early stages and why this is so complicated, your mindset at that time.
Well, during the time that I met him, I'm also a teenage girl who's going through puberty. And so some of the things that I was thinking or feeling were just normal expressions um, to, my maturity level at the time. And so it starts very innocent. It starts, you know, being mesmerized and, like you said, like admiring this person. And then, it kind of gets a little deeper or more complicated when that person is able to see what you can't see, the way you're developing, your conversation, your personality traits. So it kind of became more complicated when he started analyzing me and, the things that I was going through and who I was becoming as a person. And again, I was excited and mesmerized to, be under his wing and to be a part of his habitat. So that's how things kind of unfolded.
So
But she didn't really tell us how things unfolded. She kind of vaguely went into it like, well, it kind of unfolded. I was young, I was maturing, I did a lot of immature stuff because I was young. And we understand that. But you didn't tell us who made the first move. Were you flirting with him? Was he flirting with you? It wasn't DMs back then, so y'all had to see each other. You was in the studio,
It
but you don't
don't
have
matter,
no
brother.
music recording.
That don't matter. You know that girl's underage,
He
and you
should
know
never
your
talk to her. I
boundaries.
agree.
You know your boundaries, right? You know that. You know what I'm saying that no matter how great you are Kelly. You worth millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars,
You
bro.
you shouldn't even be interested in that little girl.
Not at all. You should have some distance between you and especially those circumstances and situations, especially when you got the
It's me though,
money
right? ADS. I'm
to
not leaving
protect.
my daughter alone with no man. I don't give a damn y'all recording music. I don't care if y'all got to sign a contract. I don't give a damn what the situation is.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, without parental supervision, now R. Kelly's guidance could be appreciated, right? Because, like I said, the man's a musical genius. He really is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he can get you to levels that you probably would never have gotten to if he would not
I
assisted you,
don't
right?
care.
And that, but at the end of the day, I mean, for his own sake, and this is just from the man's perspective, right? You got to put some distance between you and that situation altogether, because even if she's flirting with you, where this is gonna go, right? Inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? This is a lawsuit waiting to happen. You got millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to think about that type of stuff in the moment, versus what I'm saying, putting yourself in these really bad, I mean, horribly bad situations where, I mean, even the most hardened R. Kelly fan can't defend this. No kind of way, shape, or form.
It was indefensible, bro. And
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the interview because I don't know if you saw the interview, ADS. So like, I'm not. I know people hate spoilers, but I just gotta throw this out. After the video popped out where baby girl, I'm saying, had the situation happen with her, whatever, with the urine, her father took an interview with R. Kelly, bro. And R. Kelly said, yeah, me and your daughter had this kind of relationship, and I think we should just tell the public. And they continued to let his daughter be around R. Kelly afterwards, bro. I think that was, to me, that man deserved to go to jail. That's just how I feel. I don't care.
That's the telltale to me to follow the money. That's what it really comes down to. Follow the money.
Yep.
Because you can, somebody got paid. Some people, lots of people were getting paid. You know, right?
Yeah.
Dividends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
So
her auntie was signed to R. Kelly. They did a song, right? ADS. Oh, you don't got to go on mute, bro. We good. We just talking. Like her auntie was signed. I don't know if you remember the girl Sparkle, but Sparkle said her family, when she spoke out, her family ostracized her because allegedly they was getting paid. So you might be onto something.
yeah, I mean, you best believe when these type of with that type with these type of artists and that type of money, they can afford to pay. We're not talking about one family. We're talking about 50, 60 families at a time in a lot of cases. You know, right? You know, saying cash, 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 cash.
It's crazy.
Because yeah, man, you know, so there's lots of people to be, you know, say that sort of should be, I would say, brought up in this scenario and situation, at least looked at, you know what I'm saying, from that perspective. But I mean, for me, it always
Maybe I'm
comes.
giving black man too much credit. Do you believe that a black man ADS would take money to keep this quiet on some like from R. Kelly? You think there are black men that's out there that just want to whip his ass and just they instead take the money route?
There are men out there who would do that. It ain't just black men. It's across the board. Men will do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely
So
understand. Because when I watched this with my wife, you know how she get down. She blaming black man through and through. The security guards that didn't do shit, the
and
dad who took the money.
let's not put women out of this. You act like they weren't aware, like they're completely innocent of this whole circumstance and situation too. There was a lot of involvement on that end with the women folk.
I agree.
Everybody got paid. Everybody got paid. The men, the women, uncles, aunts. You know, I was slow to say, you know, saying the guardians, but everybody got paid. That's how he was able to kind of even keep this under wraps like this for that long. But when he made it public, and you see that nothing that seemingly occurred in that situation, that's when you know everybody was paid off.
Yeah.
Because any parent is going to react to that, right?
Yeah, you got to be his ass immediately.
Yeah, something like that.
And
But
we don't
nobody
condone
reacted.
violence, but we talking about a little girl.
Nobody reacted to it.
Nobody.
Nobody.
I remember being young. If I go back to the video, like I said earlier, I don't know if you watched a show called The Boondocks, but they had an episode with the R. Kelly episode. They talked about it, and they was dogging little girl out, and R. Kelly beat the case. It was wild, man. Let's go back to the video.
We know that things progress beyond looking out for you as almost like a goddaughter, and it turns into something more than that. I want to go and stay with your aunt Sparkle, who I've interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first
And we will put that interview up later.
person to really sort of say, you need to go check over there. Something's not right.
Right.
I think there's something going on that should not be going on.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, you describe social services coming to your home to do a welfare check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fact. Sparkle called CPS on them because she was signed on. She was signed to the label, right? ADS. She get a call from one of the bodyguards because I watched all the interviews already. I'm gonna show all of them in a second. Bodyguard said, "Hey man, your niece down here chilling with us, and we smoking and shit, recording music. And she 15. What she doing down here? Come pick her up." She like, I'm not even around at the time. She said that she was doing background music for Tony Braxton. So they was on the road. So she called her sister, like, why you got my niece there? Sister say, I ain't know my daughter was down there. She called CPS immediately. CPS pull up. They remove the little girl, go to the house, do all kind of investigating. Bro, she come back to Chicago. She ain't got no contract no more. She done lost her whole damn deal with R. Kelly. He done trashed her shit. So it almost seemed like that was punishment for calling CPS. But let's keep going.
And your parents are shocked. They think perhaps maybe she's just jealous because she's no longer associated with.
The parents ostracized her and tried to go on gaslight her and tell her, yo, you're just jealous because Robert doesn't mess with you anymore. Girl, I called CPS. I didn't call the police on this nigga. I called CPS to come remove my underage niece. You got to be careful who you have around you. Even some of your own family members will stab you in the back.
Yeah, that those aunties will fight for you, nigga. That just comes to show those aunties they will fight for you the best they can. But she only has so much footing in that whole circumstance and situation. You know, kudos to the brother who gave her a call, you know, right? And said, hey, this is wrong. You know, saying something off about this. Can somebody do something, right? He might
Mm-hmm.
not have came out and said it directly, but even indirectly, you can see that he was at least trying to put an effort in place to kind of, because, you know, saying prevent that, right? From going any
Absolutely.
further. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you know, respect to that.
I couldn't agree more. And man, can you guys please stop leaving stuff like that in my Twitch stream? I don't support that stuff. Let's keep going.
with R. Kelly, and then obviously 2001, 2002, we're talking about the tape. But why don't you think anyone believed your Aunt Sparkle when she first raised a red flag about a possible inappropriate relationship?
I don't think they believed her because there were no obvious signs of what was actually taking place. It was more coming from her end, maybe looking like a motive from, like you said, not being around him. And those kind of questions or concerns didn't happen until she was no longer a part of, his camp or the things that were taking place, her as an artist.
Girl, why would it matter that it's coming from her afterwards? It shouldn't matter. She was over there trying to save you. And this is what Lord ADS was talking about. Instead of y'all walking away, it's almost seeming like you were a victim, but you also was there, not you specifically, but maybe your parents, being that you were a child and they were the adult supervising over you. It seems like they chose the money and allowed you to be around these different individuals, and that's not okay. It's not okay at all.
It's not. No, no, no. And, you know, Kelly, with in all this with the most to lose. I mean, so much can be lost behind just this whole entire, even from the perception of this situation, right? Having, you know, saying that underage girl hanging out with you, doing all this extra stuff, could be, you know, saying venomous to your career, still participate in it. You know what I'm saying? Still, you know what I'm saying? Still did that. You know what I'm saying? Still to me is the antagonist in this role. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he had all the power and control over everything, and chose not to do. You know what I'm saying? And chose to do this to himself. So when I see this, I don't feel any sympathy for R. Kelly. I don't. You're too rich, you're too powerful, and you're also too dumb to make videos. You don't have enough common sense to know that you're risking everything behind this one situation circumstance, right? So, you know, like I said, man, everybody was getting paid off of this. Everybody was making money. You know, that's the reason why he was able to kind of keep this on the low for so like he did.
And maneuver in such a fashion where he can keep this going. He was acquitted, bro, in 2008, and the abuse didn't stop. He brought in more girls. It wasn't like she
Emboldened,
was the only 15-year-old. It was multiple different 15-year-olds, bro. Nigga,
emboldened by it.
yeah, I could never support him as a man. As a musician, the music just too good to throw away. But as a man, I could never support R. Kelly. It's
He
just too
might go
much
down.
truth.
He might go down as the greatest artist of his time, but at the end of the day, this type of smudge on you, makes it impossible to listen to this guy publicly at all anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
at the
what
end of the
woman
day,
want to
just
listen to this nigga?
yeah, the association to it is just it's an ugly association. You know, right? So I mean, best artists of the time were Anthony Hamilton. R. Kelly was above them, and then D'Angelo. D'Angelo was my favorite back in those days. Wasn't even R. Kelly, even though R. Kelly was hitting. I like D'Angelo more, you know, saying, and Anthony Hamilton, you know, saying to me was a more of a, you know, had that strong Southern voice, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
D'Angelo.
yeah, D'Angelo, man, Voodoo, probably the best album when it came to neo soul ever created. Voodoo was dope.
I think that R. Kelly could go down as one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. The problem is like you said, is you can't be associated with the music because he did so much wrong to to these young girls that it's inexcusable. And even when you listen to it, when I hear his voice, I gotta look at everybody in the room and say, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? Because certain people, like in my family, they don't even want to hear the man voice at all because you know
Not
what
at
I'm
all.
saying. They supported him for years, and to find out that he not only was he cheating on his wife, but you doing all of this with minors is crazy, blood.
You know, back in the day, man, my favorite song on Valentine's Day was Love Letter, R. Kelly. That shit would just flow on Valentine's Day, man. When you was out with your chick, you know what I'm saying? That love letter. When I get, you know what I'm saying? Love
Mhm.
letter. Yeah, that was dope back in the day. But now when I listen to it, I don't have the same stomach for it. Even at Valentine's Day no more. You know what I'm saying?
How could you?
Yeah, because just of the thought of association to everything that he kind of did in these circumstances. It just kind of brings that back up in my head. Like, man, you literally had the world in the palm of your hand. You know what I'm saying? The world was your oyster, your shoulder. And this is kind of how you chose to sort of conduct yourself when you know what I'm saying, when you had this world, right?
Played itself.
Yeah. I mean, bad, man. He could have went a million different ways about this. It all been legal. He could have got legal girls the whole
Could have
time.
just had sex with his wife. It's always an option too.
Yeah, of course. But you know how that gets, girl. After you've been there for a little while,
Nope. I still just had sex with my wife, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, as we should, right? We you know what I'm saying, between us two, we're a little above average working men, you know what I'm saying? But when you got millions and 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 millions of dollars, because people forget that R. Kelly was worth over 100 million at one point in his career.
Nah, I still think that his entire life would have been better off if he had just simply stayed focused on music and not vagina. I think vagina set him up for failure.
Yeah, I agree. Too many
Just
strays,
too
right?
obsessed with it, bro. Like you gotta, and his wife is beautiful. Drea Kelly, she's a dancer, and I have a rule. If she's a dancer, she probably has good vagina. She is in shape. She know how to move her body and gyrate in ways that the average woman could not. She's not lazy. Come on, bro. You had nothing. You had especially no reason to go to a little 13-year-old, a little 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, that
But
that that that's where it was really out of bounds, off limits, right? That's where he took it. I mean, out of the gray area to you know what I'm saying, to the no
dark,
go zone. You know what I'm saying? Darkness. Yeah.
yeah, bro.
And
Wow.
yeah, man.
And there's so many, bro. I know you've been around. You probably been in Chicago before. It's hella girls in Chicago, bro. I'm talking about like grown women, 25 to 30 and plus. That's crazy bad.
I mean, Chicago. I mean, that's everywhere. Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Philly, Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? I've been to so many spots, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially here in the United States. I've been to a lot of different states, man. Denver got dope chicks. You know what I'm saying? Utah got beautiful girls. California got nothing but gorgeous women. You know, right? Texas got beautiful women. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Georgia
Chicago
got
got the
pretty
most
girls. Yeah.
beautiful women in the Midwest. Like, and I'm
I
from
don't
Detroit.
know.
I'm trying to tell you, it's so
I don't
many
know.
here. It makes no sense, bro.
I don't know. I didn't touch ground in Chicago because remember I'm from Kentucky originally. So Chicago to me was like a weekend trip. You know what I'm saying? Every other weekend
All right,
for a
hold
long
on.
time. Yeah.
Vixen bored with our conversation. Let's get back to the video of the young lady. Child.
This, that's when those questions started to raise.
Chapter 7, you call it stress fractures. And you say it was a couple of weeks before your 17th birthday. You say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country. Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly?
The fact that niggas was buying a tape of a minor getting urinated on,
It's
allegedly,
disgusting.
is
It's
diabolical.
it's freaking. I'll use the word the effing disgusting. It was really disgusting. Even when I heard about it, I was like, man, yo, you actually watched that? I mean, why would you watch that, right? Because that's child pornography. Why would you even watch that? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we gotta watch the pornography, and we don't really say cuss words because we monetize now.
Apologies, Daryl. Apologies. I got to work on that too this year.
It's
But
okay.
you kind of you see what I'm saying though, right? That
Of
is
course.
all types of illegal and then out of bounds, and then to sell it and to get away with it.
And then someone selling it. What you mean someone selling it? Who got the copy to distribute it? Oh, you? You know what?
Them.
Let's hear her reaction to when the video released in Chicago and across the country.
That this tape is out there and you were 14 years old.
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect. Um, and I was embarrassed.
I want to read part of that in terms of just sort of what you were feeling at that time. Because at some point, the remedy for this, according to, you refer to him as Robert in the book, is that he wants to tell your parents.
Hmm.
And
Mm.
you say, Robert told me how he.
You about to listen to how R. Kelly told her how they should go public about their relationship. Child. R. Kelly, a man that was, I think in his time, in his 30s, wanted to go public with a 15-year-old. Lord have mercy. God protect us all and protect our children because you never know what little predator is walking around the corner looking for your child. And I have, with my marriage, 3 daughters, and my wife is pregnant now. I might have 4 daughters. And basically, because my father passed, my sisters is basically my daughters too. Bro, I'll be damned. That's why I keep one loaded. Let's keep
At
going.
all times. At all times.
At all times, my brother, because I just can't go. You feel me? I'm not waiting for no investigation, nothing. I'm letting that be known. So if anything pop up in the future, they say, yeah, Mr. Long probably a suspect, yeah. And I said what I
Daryl,
said.
Daryl, I know about Midwest Negroes, brother. I know about Midwesterners. I'm from Midwest. That's where you come up missing at in the Great Lakes. See, people don't understand that. Midwesterners, they're a whole different level when it comes to, what I'm saying, you crossing boundaries with them, right? Doing, saying, things to, saying, to offend them. Because they don't mind putting people, saying, out there by the lake. They don't mind. You know what I'm saying?
I
To
mean,
them,
yeah,
that's
we might really
routine.
want to, but at the same time, we have to have a strong standing on this isn't cool. You can't, touch kids like this. There has to be
Facts.
disciplinary action taken immediately. That's all. Let's continue.
Would tell my parents the truth
Hmm.
about us. My mom and I were in one room, and my dad and Robert were in another. You go on to say some other things, but eventually you get to this part. After a while, Dad came storming out of the room, crying hysterically and cursing, saying to R. Kelly, "You're
Hmm.
sick. I can't rock with you. I can't help you. You need to get help." He yelled at Robert.
Nigga, if a man tell me in his 40s, he had a relationship in any type of way that wasn't professional with my daughter. I'm not walking out the bedroom crying, telling some Robert, you sick, you need help. No, Robert, you not you this your last day, my brother.
Yeah, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you right now. You know,
Exactly. It's time to play jump rope with Jesus. That's a fact. Jump rope with Jesus. We ain't got no
mm,
time for you playing these games. You did what to who and where? Oh, first of all, go ahead and give me that Rolex off your wrist. You got 50 bands in that safe. I'll take that. And we're
and then
gonna
I
do this
need
the
you to
easy way or the
strip
hard way.
down. Yeah, I need you to strip all the way down to your underwear and your socks, and we going for a ride.
Easy way or the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
A choice. But it's happening. That's a fact. Let's hear more what the father had to say.
who followed us into the elevator and was on his knees crying, "Man, I'm sorry. I just love her." So the turning point from innocent goddaughter running around just trying to learn the music industry to something more like you're trying to make sense of why he's calling you and saying, what are you wearing? This type of thing. To now you're confronted with something that's out there and he's saying the solution is just tell them. I know it looks crazy, but I believe you're my angel, as you refer to in the book.
How the hell you somebody an angel and you a whole child? And this goes into the sick, disgusting mentality that women like my wife speak about, women like Cynthia G speak about, because not all men, but there are a group of men of all races that will will justify having a sick relationship with a minor, like the one that Robert Kelly had with this young lady. Is absolutely disgusting. Like ADS says, the only word to use. It's trifling.
Yeah, man. And to me, putting this on video like this was irreprehensible. That should have been an arrest on the spot, no questions. You know, what I'm saying that should have been the end of that whole entire. Because R.
Yeah.
Kelly should have really should have been in jail, at least from that point in. But as you can see here, the implications, right? The people getting paid from this, people making money off of this. You know what I'm saying? So nobody really wants to lock them up, but they lose that connection. You know what I'm saying? So everybody going along with this. The daddy crying in his soul, but he can't tell the money no.
But if you see R. Kelly on the video, why do this even got to be a conversation? You feel me? Is that R. Kelly? Nigga, yeah, that's. I'm with you. It wouldn't need like. Why would she have to testify? That shouldn't even be necessary. It should be automatic. Like if me and you was on jury, his ass gone. If it was just me and ADS, bro, I don't know how much you giving them, but I'm at least giving them 15 to 20. Just for bringing me here and I got to see this trifling shit in front of everybody and I got to judge this shit, bro. You got me messed up, bro. You going to jail, brother.
Just for the point he put this on video, take him outside in the backyard, in the courtyard. Do you have any last words, sir?
Yeah. Because, hey, listen, R. Kelly, we love the music, but you got to be held accountable, my brother. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And you got daughters too. That's the worst part about all of this shit. You a father in Chicago where they take Christ very seriously. Anyway, man, let's keep going to the interview. Fair use. And welcome to the Dirt Long Show. We are monetized, guys. Send us a super chat, send us a cash app, become a member of the show. We appreciate you guys. We are looking for $100 stream goal every day. That just keep the lights on. You feel me? We ain't trying to ball and buy a Porsche. That just keep the lights on. Help us keep the lights on, man. Let's go.
And your dad initially is upset. He's crying. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Why wasn't that the moment when you look back where you were not allowed to see R. Kelly anymore, be around him. Take us to why it was so complicated for you and your family and what you said to your parents.
It was very complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision.
Girl, what's complicated? Do you understand any complications here, ADS? Because I don't. What's complicated? You know what? Let
I
me
want to
keep.
hear what her daddy said, why he said it was complicated. I'm
Okay,
curious to know.
I'll press play. You got it.
And he was complicated. My dad wanted to make the right decision, and he was not okay with anything that took place. I was more under Robert's brainwash. I was more under his spell, and he utilized me against my parents, making threats of suicide and doing different things out of desperation to convince them to not turn on him. And because I had been groomed for so long to carry out this mission and also not want that girl on the videotape to be myself, I thought in my little mind that maybe that was the best approach. We felt more protected and had more resources and help through him than taking matters into our own hands with this celebrity and the industry and not wanting to be the people to end R. Kelly and deal with hatred and many things. So, I mean, I'm not here to sugarcoat any shortcomings of my parents or myself, but at the time, that's what that's what made us feel the safest.
So she was brainwashed, and she went against her parents, and her father wanted to get her out of it, but she chose to stay in it anyway.
Okay, I could see that happening though. I really could, right? Because at the end of the day, she could easily turn on her parents because they had accepted money from R. Kelly in this case too, and they've been locked up, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I get what they waited too late to do anything. That's what really happened, right? To the point where R. Kelly had taken hold of her, and she was just gonna do whatever R. Kelly asked her to do, hands down. You know what I'm saying? If I even, she's enjoying that life too. As a child, she's enjoying that life too. Stuff that she never had, never dreamed to have, that she got, saying, access to all of a sudden, right?
That's a
So she probably thinking that in the back of her head, she probably watched a bunch of Disney princess movies, you know what I'm saying, where the guy finds the princess, he marries, and they're together for life. She probably thinking long term, like, hey, I know he gonna know what I'm saying, he gonna want to keep me. I know he like me a lot. What. And I understand she just want a minute. She just want a minute. You know, it's sad to
mm.
hear the circumstance, especially like you were saying, the brainwashing and grooming that went through. Saying that went on this circumstance. And the parent side of it, it sounds like to me they were attempting to try to do something legally against R. Kelly, but they were probably a little afraid too.
I think that they was afraid because they don't got no money. They probably can't. They got to be outside every exposed every day. They got to go to work. All this extra shit. They like, man. At any given time, he can have the goons pop up and get busy on us. You feel me? And they was probably afraid that something pop off. What they gonna do about it? Nothing.
And plus, on top of that, if he pull up, she gonna get in the car. That's what makes this even worse. Right? You can scream
Like
and
she
yell
was
whatever
on
you
his
want
side.
to. Yeah, yeah, she gonna get in the car. You know, so it's hard to protect someone, even a child in that circumstance, who won't protect themselves without just legally getting the authorities all the way involved with it, saying, "I told my daughter she can't go." You know,
Mm. All right, let's hear more. Parents was definitely involved. Fair use.
You felt as though R. Kelly was holding all of the cards, had all of the power.
He did.
How did you make peace with your parents later? Because that's also something, I mean, even at the beginning of this interview, speaking of dedicating the book
Hmm.
to him, and my condolences, because I know he passed away in 2021. But how were you able at this age to make peace with everything that's happened and your parents' involvement?
When you become a parent, you have a different way of thinking. But I also look at the other women and the other survivors and the other, people. who, he dealt with, who lost total communication with their parents and their families, and literally lived everything that he made them think or everything that they made him feel.
Yeah.
So, in a sense of why it might be presented to look a certain way, my parents actually saved me.
Mm. I disagree. I disagree. I believe you should have been put out that situation immediately and brought forth in front of a police captain, somebody who has power, and say, "Hey, they're gonna try to harm me. This man did this. Here's the video. Point blank. Period." I don't believe the parents saved you at all.
I believe they saved her towards the end, the way it sounds. At least they tried to, right?
You believe they saved what?
I believe they tried to save her. They saved her at the end, probably. That's the
Mm.
way it sounds like to me. Like they really, saying they did the best they could, and finally, I guess they got to the point where the money didn't matter as much as their daughter. Right? It was like we have to figure this out, and that was that. Especially after that video came out, ain't no way as a father within your soul that you can allow that for your daughter to be seen that way, especially your
Yeah, R. Kelly
underage
should have been
daughter.
gone, bro. The fact that he was
Yeah,
able to do it to other little girls means that that father didn't do his job. Go ahead, come up, OG Patrice. We were reviewing the young lady who was the 14-year-old girl that R. Kelly, the piss on you video. She got a whole book out. She's speaking. She's a wife. She got kids. She's come forward, being a brave young soul that she is, speaking about what happened to her, how the industry attacked her, how she had to deal with the Dave Chappelle skit and the Boondock skit. I mean, that shit wicked, low key, wicked. Roll around, sitting on dubs. Anyway, man, let's keep going.
They're the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because if it had not been for them, if I lost complete communication with them and I was literally living his dreams, his brain, his way of thinking, I don't know where I would be
Hmm.
mentally, physically, or emotionally.
When the trial started and the questions from federal investigators are coming,
Mhm.
when you look back again, so much of this is people being able to try and understand it through your lens. You're
Right.
living it. You're the only one with this story. Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, I think that your testimony would have helped save a lot of lives and expose Robert at the time, because not having that testimony, it damn near made him look innocent to the eyes of the public, despite knowing that the video existed. People knew the video existed, and Robert still got a great deal of support. That's just the facts. I wish you would have came forward too and snitched on him and allowed us to see him for who he is. That way we can expose him.
ain't no snitching if she the victim, brother.
No, I agree. But she still didn't come forward. And I believe her family talked her into it because, like you said, they was being paid. And she should have snitched on her family too that took the money. That's a fact. Tell on Automate.
I think that's where Robert really had at, because you can best believe behind the scenes he was probably threatening, saying her with the family, right? Saying, hey, if you do this, saying I'm gonna have to tell, saying everybody that, saying that everybody knew and what their
Yeah.
involvement was, right?
Damn.
Yeah. So he probably had them both ways. Manipulation. Manipulators, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially high power manipulation, man. So, saying it's real, it's a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug, bro.
So you saying not only was he a master fucking predator, but he was a top tier manipulator that was basically controlling shit behind the scene like a gangster.
That's all predators are manipulators in that sense.
Okay.
That's one of the one of the greatest tools, right? Is manipulation. I mean, that's amongst men and women. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
see, then you got the men that be saying like, I want to like without saying names. I used to have a little co-host, a male co-host. You know, I ain't gonna say his name. You probably know who he is. But he said I manipulated him. And then I watched Gene Deal, Diddy ex bodyguard. He said he got manipulated. I feel like niggas be lying sometimes. I feel like sometimes they just go along with shit because it's beneficial to them at the time. And then when it's
that
not,
too.
they stop doing
But Simcon, you know, it's hard for me to deny that you have great manipulation skills, nigga.
it.
It's hard to deny that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in real time, nigga. I like, damn. It took me a while to figure out sometimes, you know what I'm saying, what you was doing until it was done, you know, right?
Fair enough.
But, yeah. But it's still, you know what I'm saying, that's also a great asset too. Because manipulation works in every aspect of life. There's good manipulation, there's bad manipulation, right? When you influence your kids or young adults to be better and to go to aspire to newer heights, that's manipulation. You know, right? That's a form of it. We view it as negative, but in reality, it's very positive because without you being in the picture, these people would have never gotten to this space, right? That's for coaches, you know what I'm saying? That's for parents. You know what I'm saying? Not all manipulation is bad. It's just when it's being used in this fashion to basically in performance of something heinous that we should view manipulation as a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely stop because sometimes I can find myself working the situations in the background, but I try to do it in an honest way now versus, you know, setting it up for my own benefit to win.
Opportunists were how this country was built.
Hey, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
good. I don't feel bad now. Maybe it's good that I use some of
brother.
y'all niggas.
Think about it. Think about it, Daryl. How much do you think of this country the original settlers really created? Not much. What they did was inherit this from everyone else. You know what I'm saying? By opportunities, right? Opportunities. So opportunity here took this piece of it. So opportunity there took that piece of it, right?
And capitalize.
Exactly.
But I will be buying this young lady book because I don't support R. Kelly. I think he definitely shouldn't be using a minor for any fucking thing. I just, to me, that's just some loser shit.
That should be so far out of his realm of even thinking. With that type of influence, with that type of with all that he had in life, he wasn't a dude who was suffering from not getting any women. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was just thirsty for, you know what I'm saying?
He was married.
Exactly. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't due to, deprecation. That's what I would say. That's the word, right? Desperation and deprecation. Desperation, you know, right? Because you got, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was not his issue at all, not in the least bit. He wanted something that he could never have again in his life. You know what I'm saying? That's how I seen it. He wanted something, he wanted a feeling that he associated with early on that made him feel these type of ups that he like almost like a drug he had never felt before. And this is how he expressed it with his money, with his influence. And you know how much good he could have done?
He absolutely ruined everything. Let's
Yeah,
continue. We got a lot to go through with this young lady who was explaining. And I'm not gonna repeat her name. I'm gonna still call her Jane Doe because she's still associated with R. Kelly being 14 years old. So I just don't want to say her whole name. So do we have Jane Doe here doing a public interview where she does give her full name up, and she was the inspiration behind the Mute R. Kelly movement and the Surviving R. Kelly documentary that aired, I believe, on Lifetime. Let's go.
Not telling the truth. But again, when I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look back,
Interesting. Now that's crazy. Why would you lie for a man that's manipulating you? You should be telling the police on this man right now. I think like I pray that nobody never get that close to my daughter where she feel it's necessary for her to lie to me. I pray that never happens. I pray she always can come to me and say, "Daddy, this happened to me. Is absolute bullshit. I need you to go take care of this because it's absolutely diabolical. It's not okay." That's how I want her to handle it. Yeah, that's serious. I don't want her to feel like she can never come to me. I feel like that leaves me in a position where my family is vulnerable, and my family means more to me than anything else. The money, the fame, the glory, anything. Their well being. So I would never put my family around, bro. Ever. You couldn't be lying to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be upset about everybody in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, it puts you in a position where it's hard to control that emotion once you do find out, especially through alternate kind of means. You know what I'm saying? If you hear from your daughter, at least you know you can be mad and you can plan for something strategically, right? Say, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to call the police. We need to get this person involved, that person involved, right? But when
Mm.
it comes out publicly first, the first thing that comes to a man's mind is I can imagine being anger and rage, immense anger and immense rage, right? Where you really want to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, agree. Or you really want to put in work and get busy.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that puts the father in a very awkward position too, especially if he's truly unaware of the circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Because now he has to control all what he's feeling and still deal with this thing too head on. Versus if she come and tell him privately what occurred, at least at that point he can take next steps and next actions to protect her, and then take care of this too, right? As a separate issue. But he can't because at the end of the day, this just comes out publicly. It comes out in the form of a video that's being sold on the street by street vendors out of the back of trunks. That's how he finds out, right?
That is how he found out. Well, he no ADS. Sorry, he found out. Remember, if you listen to her, her dad and Robert had a meeting, and she said in the book that he ran out crying and screaming, "We can't help you. You need help. You need help. You need therapy." So he found out then. But I feel like they should have just rushed homie then and drug his ass out the studio, called the police, and say, "Here you go, come get him." That's
At
how I
least
would have did.
the at least the first 5 6 steps out that mansion, 911, almost automatically immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, my daughter has this man confessed to me that he, you know, saying did something with my daughter that was inappropriate and illegal, and we need somebody out here, you know, what I'm saying, so we can start filing a case on this. If you're
I,
not gonna pick them up, at least it's on record.
I couldn't agree more. All right, let's keep going, man. I guess y'all don't want to donate on these shows. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Let's go.
At that trial, even this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video,
Hmm.
and the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is
Hmm.
for sure, um, being urinated on and talked about. Do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens.
I definitely think things could have been
Do you
handled.
think that the video should have been played in court, or it should have been kept out of court? How you feel about it, ADS?
No, all evidence is to me. All evidence is instrumental in this. Every bit of it. The jurors need to see this. That way they know for sure that this is a underage child. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no speculation.
And they had to
And they,
identify R. Kelly.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't say, "Oh, ADS robbed the store, got a video of the store, and don't take a look at it and just blame him." We need to make sure that that's him.
Exactly. And with today's technology, see, it would have been a lot different than 2008 because then you could do microfilm on that instantaneously, right? Where you see the face, gives you the breakthrough, takes the pixels, put them together, see what they most look like through our database, you know, right? and you can easily see that that's R. Kelly. But back then they didn't have that technology. They was using 420 DP, 180 DP. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat if you guys feel like they should have kept the video private, because as some people do believe, because she was a minor, that it shouldn't have never been shown. Only maybe, like blur the rest of the video out and only show R. Kelly face so the jurors can know who it is. I heard that in Sparkle's interview with the Breakfast Club, that she suggested that her niece get basically money back from the company that distributed the video, from R. Kelly himself and the courts, because they didn't blur her face out. But all that being said, I think me and ADS is right about this. I think people needed to see the video to fully condemn him to hell and give him the time that he's getting in jail now.
Exactly. And that other company, the owner of that company or whoever was in charge of distributing that video needs to be arrested as well, because they were aware this was an underage minor.
It's crazy. In my videos that I have put up, they said they couldn't find the person who distributed that video. I don't believe that. And yeah, Vixen, I think the little girl face should have been blurred from the very beginning. I don't think that nobody should have ever seen her face, especially in court. You know what I'm saying? It was shown all throughout Illinois' court. To me, it's very disrespectful. I don't want my daughter shown to grown ass men. Just show R. Kelly face. Once we see his face in the video, you don't got to show the whole thing. Like when they showed the whole video in court, I guess the purpose was to show that he actually urinated on her. But once you see him standing over a little girl, to me, he don't even got to urinate. That's a crime in itself, bro. You butt naked over a little girl, throw him in jail. Hey, if I was there and me and ADS was back there plotting with the jury, hey, bro, I don't want to see the video. I don't even see the whole thing. That nigga is standing in front of a little girl. That's at least a 20 piece. In my mind, at least a 20 piece. And I know ADS gonna back me on that. From there, it's really convincing the women who rock with R. Kelly that this nigga's a PDF file that's not worth protecting. And the whole
Not,
ass.
yeah, not even that as much. The goal is to convict him, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure all the evidence is available, anything anybody needs to see, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, we if they don't take them out, if they figure out a way to take them off the street back in 2008, the rest of this doesn't occur. You know what I'm saying, going forward. Right? But I forgot how it went down, but he was acquitted, right, on that charge.
He was acquitted because nobody agreed to testify against him, bro. And that's
yeah, man. Let's show you where the money at. It's disgusting, bro. It really is disgusting.
Oh, I couldn't agree more with you, actually. So, let me fix this camera. All right, let's keep going, y'all. It's crazy.
Handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that. To the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult.
Yeah, that was when hearing her talk about how she was made a mock, like how she was made fun of. And welcome to the stage, OG Patrice. I ain't gonna lie, looking back at it, I regret watching Dave Chappelle's show about that shit. Hey, OG, can you hear me? I hear you. You're just breaking up a little bit, but feel free to stay. It don't even matter. I'm always glad to have you here. Can you hear her 88? Picking up on your end too?
I mean, she breaking up, man. I can hear a word or two, then it goes silent. Then I hear another word, and it goes silent.
Okay. I hate streaming. Okay, love. All right. I see you when you refresh. And we also have, what's up, Marcy?
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you blame the parent or do you blame this young girl for being infatuated with um, R. Kelly? Because as you know, I be in different spaces on Twitter. Twitter is twittering.
Of
Child,
course.
what are your thoughts?
I blame R. Kelly and his handlers. That's who I blame.
Does that include his wife?
Because no,
Okay.
no, it's just a whole different. She's in a whole different with all this to me. It just is my opinion. That was child corn, plain and simple.
Hmm.
It got passed around. It got talked about. Nobody saw it that way. I did.
Hmm.
I couldn't understand why it was being distributed the way it was. If I had seen that, I would be disgusted because that she was a little girl. She was 11 going on 12.
In the video that allegedly was passed around, the court said she was 14.
No, she was 12.
Damn.
I unfortunately know people who have seen it. They described it to me. She was a baby.
Mm. Poor thing. Whole ass R. Kelly.
She was a baby.
I never understood, with all due respect to Chicagoans, I never understood how y'all let that ride.
Anybody let that ride, Daryl. Not just people in shit. Anybody who saw it, let it ride. As a parent, it watch it. It was hard. Did you see Surviving R. Kelly?
I did, but let me make sure I preface my statement then. If you a made man, and you know what I mean, you are responsible for what happened in your city to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And if you can't control this beast, it's just like, how did Cersei say it? If you have a cancer inside of you, how long do you wait until the cancer destroy you before you put the cancer out and destroy it? And R. Kelly was a cancer to to Chicago. Point blank. Period.
Can you hear me now, Daryl?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. You can go ahead, but I do have something to say about this situation.
Oh, feel free to speak. Everybody can speak freely. I'm over here doing homework before I gotta go back to work tomorrow anyway.
So, and I story when I told on the Iraq's born about 4
Marcy, do you
ago.
hear that?
Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry. She was in and out. I didn't hear.
Yeah, it was in and out again. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
Yeah,
It was,
it's got
oh man, I
emphasis.
hate when OG Patrice ought to be messing up because she is one of the most wisest people. Her and Marcy together. Feel like I have like my aunties up here again. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. I don't even need like these bandits up here. Outside of ADS, I like ADS, but the rest of these bandits up here, no.
Thanks, Derek.
And I want to hear what she got to say because she's from Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm interested in because I hold Chicagoans accountable for R. Kelly. I feel like a lot of people here have.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, OG.
Oh, no.
Oh, I think she said she's gonna come right back. Okay, she said she's gonna come right back.
So, Daryl, I have a question. So, are you saying that the quote unquote made men in Chicago would know about this kind of thing? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
this
Oh,
started from my research. It started back in '89. This wasn't
oh,
new. Sparkle.
oh.
Let me 'cause I got me. I'm a researcher MFer. You
Well, I'm
understand
just
me?
saying. I mean, you speak as though they should know. They should have known about this and should have put us to. Oh, okay.
I think they knew about it. I think they
Oh,
was participating in that kind of behavior.
oh,
You understand me? And
okay.
part of the reason why it was left unchecked is because R. Kelly was signed to Rockland Records. I'm not even gonna tell y'all who owned Rockland Records. Just go do your research and
All
you'll
righty
find out.
then.
Child. And art is not like how it was now. Like back in the day, you couldn't just blow up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You had to have a label behind you. You can like now you can go on YouTube, become DDG, and have a gold record. Child. Hey OG, let's do a mic test. OG, how's your mic?
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me?
Yay! God is good.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
working. All right, amen. All the time. Good morning,
Okay, well, good morning. Well,
OG.
Let's give her a chance while God's
hopefully it
blessing.
won't
Go ahead.
hopefully it won't go out again. But yeah, like I said, I had told this story about 4 years ago about my experience with R. Kelly when I okay, so before this whole video came out with the underage girl, I had I had a girl group that I was managing, and my guy was the producer, and they were working on their first single. So they end up opening up for Tamar Braxton when she had her first little minor hit out. A lot of people don't know that, but this was like I want to say late '90s. And so we were at this music convention, and they opened up for Tamar Braxton, and somebody came back to me and told me that R. Kelly was interested in my girls because he was there. He had heard them sing. And so I met R. Kelly, which I had already knew of him, being in Chicago and everything. And I knew that my younger sister and brothers went to school with R. Kelly. So we all came similar from around the same neighborhood, which is Inglewood in Chicago. And so I ended up giving him my card, right, when we met, like backstage. So, of
Mm-hmm.
course, the young ladies that I was, managing at the time and my ex was producing for them at the time, they were all excited because R. Kelly was already a big name, in Chicago. And so we had a first meeting with his team of people. He wasn't even there. And, uh, but, he was expressing interest in the girls that I was managing. And so that ended up, long story short, that ended up just getting all the way destroyed because the young lady started going to the studio and being around R. Kelly and his camp without me knowing it a lot of the times, right? So then when I found out, because one of the girls in my group was underage, she was 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need to know, what y'all doing, right? And so they were going to the group, they were going to the meetings and going to the studio and hanging out with R. Kelly and his guys, some of the guys. And so two of the young ladies, which was the older young ladies, they were 18, but the youngest one was 16. They end up started dating two of the guys that hung with R. Kelly's crew, right? And so what I did was I gave them an ultimatum. I said, look, in order for me to manage you all, because one of you all in this group is underage going around to the studio and hanging around these guys, I said, either I'm going to be present with you all when you're working only. You don't need to hang around those studio with these guys. These guys were then in their 20s and 30s. And so they agreed, but they were still sneaking and doing it behind my back because I found that out by having similar people in the music industry that also knew R. Kelly. So, and this is long before all that happened. So what I did was I broke the contract with the girl group that I was managing because those guys was in these girls' ears, you know, petting them against me, right? So of course
Mm-hmm.
this is R. Kelly and his crew, so they're gonna roll.
So I broke my contract with them, and I had spent a lot of bread on these girls because I bought them a lot of things that they didn't have for them to do these type of shows. They got radio, they got television, and like I said, they first gig was opening up for Tamar Braxton. So I let them out the contract, but when I did that, I called the youngest girl's mother, and I said, "Listen," I said, "I'm calling you because your daughter's 16 years old. She's hanging over there with R. Kelly and his crew of people." So I said, and I broke the contract because they don't want to listen to me now because, two of them are dating these guys. I said, and they all in their ear. They not trying to listen to nothing I have to say. Me
Child.
and my ex, who's the producer, we cut ties with them. They kept hanging out with R. Kelly. I didn't hear from them for a long, long time. So when that documentary came out, I was so afraid that they were going to be in it because one of the young ladies that was in my girl group that I managed, she followed him all the way to Atlanta. She still lived there right now,
Mm,
but they
mm.
weren't in the documentary. That don't mean,
Yeah.
anything didn't happen. So years later, the youngest girl called me because actually she was the lead singer. She was the better singer, and she wanted me to just manage her. And I told her, no, I got a bitter taste after that. I was like, I'm done managing. I'm just gonna continue to concentrate on my own career. I'm done with managing. Like I would never manage anybody again, right? So
Mm,
so
mm.
I hadn't seen her in years. My ex ended up running into one of the other girls at a music convention in Atlanta. And that's how they got to talking and kind of started back communicating because she had followed R. Kelly to to Atlanta. So the young lady that's in the videotape back then when I was in Chicago, I never met Sparkle, but I knew Sparkle used to date one of the guys in Public Announcement, which I know Public Announcement. So,
Okay.
so see, what's not being told is that Sparkle left her guy in Public Announcement and started messing around with R. Kelly herself. And then
Mm.
she brings her, and then she brings her underage, yeah, see, and then she brings her underage niece around, and then the niece gets left with R. Kelly. And in this interview, you hear this young lady say that Sparkle told her to sit on his lap and rub his head and ask him to be her godfather. That's what she
That
said
is
that
what she said.
Sparkle told her to do.
Okay.
That is
So
what she
now
said.
we got the grooming that started, right? So you got a 14-year-old girl who's
Mm.
not fully developed brain wise. I don't know what her body was because I never met her. And
Don't matter. She was a child. Child.
exactly, she's underage. So
Mm.
her dad played guitar for R. Kelly. See, this is how parents sell their children to the industry. Her dad worked for R. Kelly, played guitar for him, was a studio musician for him as well, and toured with him. So now this comes out. R. Kelly pays them off, the parents, and convince them not to have old girl testify against him that was her in the video. So she lied. She lied. She did go to court before the grand jury, but she lied and said that it wasn't her because when the video came out, it was very blurry. R. Kelly actually tried to get his brother to say it was him in the video.
That goes with
So
that crime, R. Kelly.
that was going around as well. But that
Yeah,
that
we're not about to
video,
admit to being pedophiles because of you. I shouldn't even use that word, but I have to. R. Kelly. But let's get back to the video. I want to hear what this young lady had to say because speaking of Sparkle, OG Patrice, I do have interviews with Sparkle up.
mm,
That's right.
mm.
I did some research all this morning. I actually remember her song. I didn't specifically remember her, but I did remember the song that she had with R. Kelly. Can't think of
Mm-hmm.
even now, I can't think of the name of it, but even every time I hear it, I automatically remember. Oh yeah, this was a hit.
Yeah, it was something about you better be careful. You better be
Oh
careful
yeah,
with
yeah,
something like that. It went.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, but before you do that, long story short, that video went all over Chicago, and a lot of people were pissed off because it was a lot of men that were literally selling the video of that girl and R. Kelly on the corners.
And men were buying
It,
it.
it was horrible.
Passing it around in barbershops.
Yep, it was horrible.
I actually saw it at a barbershop in Detroit as a child because I remember this. I was a kid. I was a teenager when all this stuff happened, and I remember seeing this at a barbershop. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
this is
they was
so
like, you want a video, you want a tape, you want to say, hell no, I don't want to
Absolutely
see
not.
that. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? That's disgusting. And men that was selling that stuff and buying that stuff and making jokes like it was a joke. It was actually sickening.
And that's why I'm
But
actually
go
gonna buy
ahead and
her
Talk
play.
book
about
because
it.
I actually people saying it's a money grab. How is it a
No,
money grab when she a damn victim?
thank you.
They literally was treating that video like they were watching a porn video.
Yeah,
Like
Porn
men,
video.
like
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
disgusting.
Talk about it. OG,
I,
talk about it.
I never got that. I never got that for real. For real. What would get you off watching other people have sex? Let's just start with that, right? That's not you. That's somebody else doing something that you might want to do, but you still ain't doing it the same. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, for me, that let's start with that. For two, you know what I'm saying? Even if in self preservation of yourself, right? As a human being, as a person, especially as a law abiding citizen, why would I want to watch that knowing that that's against the law? I mean, just from the jump, right?
Yeah, some of these
That's
men are predators.
illegal.
Yeah, because if they got caught with the video, they would get in trouble because the girl was underage. So they literally
Mhm.
would get in trouble if they got caught with that video in their presence or on their person. But men didn't give a care. And it just let me know how disgusting a lot of grown men were that were
Mhm.
watching
Talk
this
about it.
underage child get get peed on like they were watching a regular corn video, like men do,
This is
and
before
talk about
YouTube
it. It was
and
absolutely disgusting.
OnlyFans, so they didn't have this at the at the ready, on their phones. They had to load this one up to the DVD player. But you know what?
Mhm.
Going, this is absolutely disgusting. God, please watch over our children
Please.
and her right now as an adult and her children. Lord have mercy.
To digest. It was very disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around. And, when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done differently, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
How were you able to sit through the trial in the parking lot? Because I think to know that you were so close to the trial that could have put R. Kelly away back then and listen to his instruction. Don't watch television. Don't read the paper. I mean, this wasn't the same, social media wasn't a thing in 2008 the
Right.
way that it is now. Um, but take us back to
To have this girl sitting in the parking lot while the
Mm,
case is going,
mm,
and don't
mm.
say nothing. Don't watch nothing. Don't listen to the radio. Why am I out here then, nigga? You got enough money, you could have sent her to back, I don't know, to school, perhaps. We can start there. Why is she sitting in the parking lot as a minor, waiting for your instructions on what to do? Again, I got to go back to her father. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the simp in me, Marcy, but
I
I'm
mean,
not.
yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
somebody calling me, "Oh yeah, man, Leia, she got to come outside real quick." For what? And who are you? Don't worry about that. She got
Mm,
to come outside.
mm,
She got to sit in the parking lot while we got this trial popping off. Oh, for sure. Let me go get her.
mm, mm,
I'm gonna come back with that thing. If you still there, that's your ass.
mm. Right.
That's what it's gonna be. Ah, man, you know what? Let me keep going. This video is ridiculous.
And I know you're going to get a lot of these types of questions
Mm-hmm.
because most of this book is based on the past and how you've been able to come out of it. But take us back to what it was like being in a van and knowing that just a few 100 feet away, his life was on the line.
That was very scary. I didn't understand why he wanted me there, why he made those choices, but I just went with the program. It was very difficult because I would also be paranoid. Like, what if somebody raids the bus, or what if the wrong person walks on here? Um, but I don't know if he did it for comfort of not wanting, of being afraid of me just having the freedom to just walk out if I wanted to.
Right.
But he kept me very close in that way.
What was your reaction
How did he have
to that
access to you?
2008 not guilty verdict?
Why did he have access to you so easily?
Her parents.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, listen, man. Hey, I'm about to come pick your girl up, bro. She about to go to school. Nah, she about to go wait in the lobby until this trial over with. I was so disgusted when I was reviewing this. I had to get out of the Anton, fucking algorithm just for a moment at least. Because to me, this is a very important conversation. Super important. As a father, we need to condemn men in our culture who are behaving like this. That's just what it is. That's what it got to be. They got to go. Period. Hearing OG Patrice story made me think that R. Kelly, he was doing this shit with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Young lady
Mm-hmm.
got an auntie with her. I want the auntie and I want her niece.
I told you. She probably thought she was the only one when she was really one of many. You know what I'm saying? This one just happened to go public versus the other ones he had already kind of gotten away with.
That R. Kelly was messing around with his underage cousin back in the day, and
Alleged.
she ended up getting pregnant by him and had a
Oh my
abortion.
God.
But he was messing a underage cousin. See, everybody knew in the neighborhood that it was a neighborhood older guy that actually was one of the ones that allegedly, I should say, molested R. Kelly. Right? We know that his older sister did, the older sister Teresa, and but it was a neighborhood guy that M-worded R. Kelly when he was a little boy, and this guy got arrested, and this guy went to jail. But when it came time for him to go to court for sentencing, case got mysteriously dropped because it was alleged in the neighborhood that he paid R. Kelly's mother $5,000. God rest her soul. But that was what the word was in our neighborhood, that he
Mm.
paid her off. And the man never did no extensive prison time. But not only was this guy in the neighborhood allegedly messing around with R. Kelly, we knew that the oldest sister, Teresa, and then it was alleged also that his own grandfather M-worded her. So it was multiple people that contributed to him becoming the monster that he is.
Yes. Multiple different people. And they should be ashamed. And they should be arrested. In my humble opinion. But let's go.
You talk about it in the book, but tell us how you were really feeling at that time.
I felt happy for him. I didn't want to see his career end. I didn't want to see him taken from his family. I thought things were going to change for him, for us. I thought things would just get a lot better. I thought this was our freedom to just be family and to, all of the different traumas and me having to hide and disguise myself and be lonely and away from my family. I thought that was closure to all of the negative things that he kind of made me feel like had to happen during this case that lasted for so many years.
And at this point, too,
So she was happy that he won his case and got acquitted for urinating on her.
Oh my God, this poor child.
You can't make this shit up. Then you have the parents and everybody else not testifying. Lord have mercy. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. The fact that he got away with this, like ADS said, it emboldened him to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing
And
standing
again, and again,
in
and
his way
again.
at all.
And this time he had no shame with it. You know what I'm saying? There was no hiding it this time. He was doing things so publicly with a lot of these younger women, right? That it was just easily recognizable to the point where a jailhouse lawyer was able to get him under the Chicago PD's eyes. Stormy Daniels' old lawyer, that con artist, was able to bring it up. And then from there, this really became a big thing because there just were too many facts involved with this circumstance and situation to ignore. Which is crazy it had to get to that. This was all preventable back in 2008. Hell, you asked me 2003. You know what I'm saying? When he had some of these allegations popping up initially, this could have been handled at that point. And R. Kelly might not have, you know what I'm saying, he might have been at least been more, how do you say it? He would have been aware that there were people out there that were watching him. You know, right? And at that point, maybe he would have moved differently in these circumstances where he wasn't touching these girls. He just stuck with women, you know what I'm saying, that at least were of age, right? But people just kept letting him get away with it and get away with it to the point where he felt no more shame doing it. He just did it. You know? Money's everything. I mean, let's be honest. When you go amongst a group of impoverished people, money is everything. And he sort of preyed on that.
Yep.
All right. I agree. Let's get to it. Child, this shit's embarrassing.
you're in your 20s.
Right.
So you're thinking, yeah, this stuff happened, but, this is our chance to reset.
Right.
But what actually happened?
Things got worse. And then I started realizing that I had been used and utilized for a purpose, that I was a placeholder, that I was here to make sure Robert didn't go to jail. Not because he loved me, not because he was my protector, or because I was his angel. My purpose was done. He was finished.
And you talk about moving out and starting your own, going on vacation, really getting a taste of what it is to be independent.
Moving out, girl. Why did you ever move in? You're still a child.
Brainwashed.
Lord have mercy.
You can see wrong.
Yeah, but I don't care if Leia brainwashed. She's not coming to me saying, Daddy, I'm moving out. I'm about to move in with Usher. Oh, for real? Lock her ass in the room. She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, let me go get my gun right quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my tool right quick. All right, baby. I'll be over in about 5 minutes. Just wait there for me. I'll be there.
I'm say, Michi, go ahead and watch Leia. She can't go nowhere. I'll be back. I'll go talk to this man myself.
Yeah. Me and him gonna have a whole conversation about this.
By the time I get back, he not gonna want no young ladies at his house no more.
See, he might not be at his house no more. He might be out there.
Okay, bro. Bro, I swear to God, I'm not to be fucked with. I would literally make that man pay me. Hey, bro, every breath you live, every breath you take, nigga, you should be saying thank you, Daryl. After you violate me like that, because I don't know, just walking away from me is literally, I would consider that a blessing from God if you violated me like that. Like that would be a blessing. It's a miracle, nigga.
That's why you
I didn't
plug
see
into
that
your
happen.
kid. You learn your kid. You know your kid, right? You keep it open to where they can tell you anything, right? So you know the signs when you see them because they groom them first, right? They groom them first. So you got to plug in. That's all I can tell you. As somebody who got through, I made it. And not without battle scars, but I made it. I had to raise them by myself. It was two girls. You just got to plug in. Got to make sure you plug in.
These little bandits. You gotta make sure you raise your kids the right way because you have somebody like Robert who might try to come around and show them the
And you
whole
know
different
the
side of the industry. Shit low key ridiculous.
and you know the worst part about this is that he abandoned this child once she served her purpose.
Exactly.
That's the worst part about it. He felt no guilt or shame because she thought she was one, and she was one of many that he had been done this to. This is the one that just happened to put his ass on the hot seat, you know, for real, for real. So he kept her around till it was safe enough to let her go. Then you know, what I'm saying he kicked her out, and which is sad to me that this child she after he already manipulated, groomed her, and done things to a grown man shouldn't do to a child. Now you want to abandon her, and she not even know. You know what I'm saying? To keep in mind, this ain't no 30-year-old woman, right?
Mhm.
We say get out and go find a job. You know what I'm saying? It's over with, right? Go find a job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
This is a child. She's still a child doing this whole circumstance. So just to me, you know,
Well, you guys know,
You
you
disagree?
guys know that his daughter came out and also that he molested her too.
Damn.
You guys know that?
I didn't know that his daughter dropped a video saying that that happened. No.
Yeah. He
That's like that pork
allegedly
chop
did
thing
it
with
to his own
names.
daughter.
So yeah,
Mhm.
there's nothing that he won't do. There's no
Wait,
level that he won't cross. He gotta be stopped. And he
I
was.
mean,
I'm glad he was, truth be told. I ain't gonna lie.
but his story is just so. I mean, from where he come from, like you said, he had been through that his whole life himself, really. You know, right? To the point where he was homeless on the subway, was able to make it out of a subway homeless, couldn't read or anything down in Chicago because of he's so talented to the point of human heights that, you know what I'm saying, at the time nobody had seen, especially, you know what I'm saying, amongst artists, right? Just to do all this because he was mentally ill the whole time.
I believe they said that something happened with his mom's, or you know what I'm saying, he grew up in a very like destructive type household. I can't confirm that, but I did too, and it never led me to want to touch no little girls. You know what I'm saying? To me, like I said, Chicago was full of extremely beautiful women. It's literally no reason at all why you want to be around a young lady when you can just go downtown Chicago and there's beautiful women at every bar, every club, every day party. They out there. So that's a fact.
But
Yeah,
when
I didn't even
you
realize that.
are a cow and a predator,
mm,
that's
Mm.
why. You know, R.
that's
Kelly
not
is a
what you
very
want.
sick person, you know, and he's a master manipulator because he was
Mhm.
manipulated by all that done it to him. So that was normal to
Mhm.
him in his
Mhm.
mind. He was a victim that became a victimizer,
Yeah.
period. And he is where he deserves to be. And he's going to be a very old man if he lives to make it out of where he is now. And rightfully so.
I think he should get life in jail.
We damn near did, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he got
He'll
like
be
30 years,
78
brother.
when he get out.
Yeah, he's done.
It's
That's
not
it.
good
You know
enough.
what I'm saying?
That nigga
Yeah.
life. I think. Oh. Super chat stopped alive. Oh man, I gotta get my shit together. I'm taking other people's material and butchering it. Anyway, shout out to Nay or the Bandit Assassin for her $5 super chat. Thank you, Nay. Mwah. Nay probably at work. She of course can join us when she is done.
That nigga's a goddamn $5 boot right now. $5 boot. $5 boot.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
God dang.
That's
Shout
another
out
one
to
the other
Nay.
day. His brain examined. Damn, yay.
Hey, Kanye said lock all them boys up. Lock Jay-Z up. Lock Beyonce.
No, he
Child.
did. He did. He.
Yes, he did. All right, let's keep going. This is crazy.
Pendant. But even though you left R.
Daryl, I
Kelly, you
got
left
5 minutes
home.
left on lunch break. I'm about to dip. Get me something to eat right quick.
All right,
All
my
right, brother.
brother.
Take care. Thank you for having me up. Y'all take care.
You
Have a
too,
good
man.
day.
Have a good day, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
You never quite left his orbit. Explain.
That was definitely me operating out of cognitive dissonance. It was more so like I knew things were wrong. I knew everything that I went through, but this is all I've known for the majority of my life. This is the behavior that was my normal and that I felt like was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of afraid to operate outside of him. I didn't know what to do. I had to literally learn myself from a 12-year-old girl up into who I was to today.
Yeah. And that was hard to
It was very
completely let
difficult.
go. January.
That had to be very difficult to, to have to deal with that in real life, in real time. I just still,
Oh, she
I
was
wish you would
12.
have separated
She was
yourself.
a baby.
Yeah, girl, just separate yourself. Why you even around this man? Go be around young men your age. That's how I feel about it. All this extra stuff, girl, separate yourself. Call the police, and then tell them everything about him. Everything.
But
But
if your
when you
parents
are
know,
14 years
sorry.
old and you have your adult parents that is very persuasive and influential in your life, and they're trying to protect themselves and their bag because they're very selfish. They brainwashed her the same way R. Kelly groomed her. So it seems to me that she was around a bunch of groomers, enablers, handlers, and influencers, from Sparkle to R. Kelly, her parents. And 14, and have to listen to your parents. So imagine a 14-year-old being told what to do, what to say, what to do, and what not to say. And we can get the you just chew on the stand. You just have to lie. Because that's for everybody. We're protecting the predator. That is because of that.
They absolutely was. They was absolutely protecting him. Either that,
That's what it was.
or they was protecting themselves by getting paid and allowing this man to continue on his spree of harming innocent kids, which I think they were getting paid.
Exactly.
Path of
Somebody,
destruction.
Exactly.
somebody
But
getting
that's all
paid.
it was.
It's crazy how powerful money is. It's so wicked, low key, man. I hate it in some ways. OG, what happened? I think OG must have got a call. Let's go.
Probably.
3rd, 29th.
Hold on, hold on. I think Izzy Ben's addressing me. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yo, Daryl, nah, fam, nah, yo, Daryl. Hell nah, bro. You got some explaining to do, my brother. Daryl, you got some explaining. You got time? I will drop the link for you, Daryl. Do you got time, bro? Because you got some explaining to do, bro. I see your little clip, bro. I see your little short, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. Do you got time, Daryl? Do you have time? I will drop the link just for you, sir. Because no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. That is not how we do business around here, sir. No, sir.
What the hell did you do, Daryl?
Time, bro. I will drop the link for you, bro, because I got some questions direct. I need to understand, bro. How you coming at me, bro? How you coming at me? Let's go. Let's get. You need.
All right, so Izzy mad because I did a video where Tyranny family was attacked by Anton and he was there laughing. And I said, from now on, we calling him Izzy Daniels.
Now I do not approve. I'm just gonna say that. So you know I don't approve. I don't approve.
Izzy Daniels, no.
Okay, let me wrap this up. We're not gonna go over what you call Sparkle's interview. I'm gonna say that for later or in a pre-recording because the space demands my attention.
Now you get your ass over there and you behave yourself.
I said give me about 15 minutes. I'm
put you in the corner.
He didn't tell Anton to lay off. Listen, I still gotta edit the video. Apparently he's seen one of the shorts. See, I don't control that shit. That shit is controlled by AI. But I said what I said. Now put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to finish the video. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all want me to go to Izzy Band's show real quick, right? School him and then come back here and finish the conversation. What y'all want to do?
You know what? You know what? I don't approve. I'm against this. But you know what? You gonna do what you want to do with the big head.
Izzy wasn't holding him accountable. Go address Izzy. All right. Only thing I'm asking is to support the channel. Yeah, $5 in. I hit me with a cash app. I don't care if it's $5. Somebody send me a cup of coffee. This has been the morning show, and I'm going to go to Izzy Band's show right now, and I'm going to go explain myself. Bye.
Bye.